Welcome to Treasure Beach, Jamaica. We're here at Jake's Hotel. We're going to do a short hip opening series with you today. So start at the top of your mat. You may want to have some blocks handy. If you tend to be a little bit tighter in your hips, separate your feet hip width. And you're going to bend your knees, pull your belly to spine, and come in a downhill skier. So the downhill skier is our first forward bend here. And you want to protect your low back by really locking your low belly back to your spine. Take a deep breath in. Full breath out. Sinking into hips. One more here. Inhale. Exhale. Now slow movement together. Breathe in. Exhale, fingers down, lift and lunge your right foot back. So we're going to keep the back heel high and place your right hand down. You can place it on a block. Bring your left hand to your outer left knee and gently press your knee slightly right. Now gaze is down, no tension in your neck. Settle your hips down, let them drop. Breathe in. Breathe out. Two more here. You always have the option to tap the back knee. That's going to do it as well. One more breath. Pressing the left knee slightly right. Release both hands down, look forward. Press into your left heel as you step forward and fold. Walk your feet together, bend your knees. Come into downhill skier. So again, lock your belly to your spine here. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, hands down. Lift and lunge your left foot back. So get yourself settled. Then place your left hand on the floor or the block and the right hand to the outer right knee. Gently pressing your knee, maybe a ½ inch left. You'll feel it. It's just lining up the thigh bone with the hip. Settle your gaze here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Now just one more. Let your hips drop. Sink hips nice and low. Both hands down. Inhale, look forward. And we'll push and step forward and fold. So again, bend your knees, downhill skier. We'll do something similar now. Breathe in. Exhale, fingers down, lift and lunge your right foot back. This time you're going to walk your left foot to the outer edge of your mat and bring both hands inside your front foot. So again, you can bring them up on a block. So your left shoulder is inside your left knee. Your back knee is lifted here. Coming into this lizard pose. So you can stay up on your hands. Drop your elbows down. So your elbow can come on a block, or maybe it's just one elbow. Maybe it's just your right elbow. Left hand stays to the floor. Doesn't matter. Let your head go, looking towards your back toes. Now if you feel your left knee starting to splay left, you can bring your hand to your outer knee as we did before and gently guide the knee in, keeping that knee in on this lizard pose today. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more, breathe in. Breathe out. Bring both hands to the mat. So you're going to straighten your arms. Left hand to the outside of the foot. Inhale up to fingers, look forward. And step forward. Fold in half. So it can kind of feel like a big relief and a release after you do that. So why don't we just walk out the legs. Bend one knee. Bend into opposite heel. Let your head go. Shake it yes and no. Come into downhill skier, bend your knees, elbows to knees. Just transitioning, take a deep breath in. Hands down, lift and lunge your left foot back. So walk your right foot to your outer mat, both hands inside. So again, right here, pause for a few breaths and notice what's happening in your right knee. You can stay here or drop your left elbow. You can drop both elbows. Or you can bring your right hand to your outer knee, again, pulling it in, pressing gently. So it doesn't matter what your arm position is. You're going to open your hips in this pose, in any variation. Deep breath in, send your back heel back. Deep breath out. Inhale. Exhale. Now last breath. Sink your hips down and pause. Good, come back up to your hands, right hand to the outer foot. Look forward, step forward, and fold. So bend your knees, you're gonna have a seat. And we're gonna place the right foot on top of the left knee. Send your right knee open. So I like to bring my fingertips behind me here in the seated half pigeon. Lift your heart. So most of us are going to feel something pretty quickly in this pose. It hits us where we're most tight. So you can stay here, or you can roll to your back and take thread the needle. I'll show you that in a moment. You can walk your left foot across and tap your left knee down for double pigeon, sitting upright or folding forward, maybe placing a block under your head. So there's a place here for everyone, and we're here for about 10 breaths. So feel free to play. If you find it's becoming too much, you can roll onto your back and take thread the needle. Sending your right fingers through on top of your left shin or hamstring. So one thing you'll notice in all of these pigeon variations is that the right knee remains at a 90-degree angle. So we continue to access and hit the right hip at the same angle. If you're in double pigeon, if you're in the seated half or thread the needle, it doesn't matter. On any given day, you'll find the one that works for you. So a couple more breaths here. Take a final inhale. Use your long exhale to let it go into your deepest place and pause. And then come on up slowly. So if you're on your back, make your way back up, and we're going to take both legs out long in front. Fingertips behind you. Let's turn them in and lift the heart. And then turn your fingers back as you make your way back up. Right foot to the mat. Left ankle on top. We'll take the other side. So now you know your options. You'll start in the seated half for a few breaths. Just trying to assess where the hips are at today. Any given day, we're going to be dealing with some tightness and tension in some area of our body, and that's why we practice, to continue to loosen up and unblock whatever holds us back from feeling our best. So from here, you can walk your right foot across. You may want to try it on this side. It's okay if the left knee's way up. Blocks are super helpful here. Roll your way onto your back. If you know this isn't for you, thread the needle. And then breath by breath, you start to settle in. So I often tell my students in class or remind them to not envy flexibility. Just because you can drop your head to the floor in the double pigeon doesn't mean that you're enjoying it or any more or any less. Sometimes, you know, when you're super flexible, you don't really understand or feel the pose because your body responds. So let's be grateful for what we have right here. Tight hips or hamstrings or whatever you've got. And you work from there. That's what you've got, your ingredients for your practice today. Take a few more breaths. Use this last breath, use this last exhale really, to settle right down to the boundary of what you know in this pose. Then rise up slowly. As the mosquitoes start to come, I must end our practice here together. Straighten your legs, reach your fingers forward. If you're on your back, stay. We're going to meet down there, roll down onto your backs. Pull your knees into your chest, and we'll take happy baby. So the feet go up, grab your outer feet, slide your knees to the outer rib cage, pull your knees down. You can rock side to side if this feels good. Really nice for the low back. Hold steady. You can straddle the legs if that works for you, or maybe just straighten them a little bit. Slide your legs together, maybe bringing toes slightly overhead in this modified plow or supine forward bend. Roll your low back to the mat, arms out to the side. Take a spinal twist to the right and look to the left. So simple, short hip practice to help you unwind, perhaps from your busy day. Relieving any low back tension from sitting all day. Lift your knees back to center. And over to the left. Bring your knees back to center. Straighten both legs out for Shavasana. So give yourself at least a minute or two. It's so important to take rest after opening and unwinding your body. So I thank you all for joining me today. Hope to see you soon, live in person or perhaps on another video. Thank you for honoring yourself and giving yourself at least another minute to rest. Namaste.